What is up, my Gojis? I'm Goji12, or Golden Goji the Crocodilian Prince, and welcome to another Goji Rants video. That's not even a Goji Rants video. Again. This video is actually going to be rating each character of the Goji gang, just because I would like to do something more on these Goji Rant videos than just rant on pointless stuff. Even though that's the point of a Goji Rants video.
Don't question me.
Also, I would like to add that this would be excluding my character, since that would kind of be unfair, and you know who has the most movies besides Alec on my channel. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, the reason why I'm starting with designs is because less people would get mad at that. In fact, nowadays, more people are actually admitting that their characters aren't as creative as they think they were, like, years ago. So, since people are more mature about the design subject, some of you are probably gonna know whose design I'm going to talk about first. My dear friend, Max. So, as I said before in my respectful criticism rant about Max's two channels, I talked about all the animals Max could have been besides a hedgehog. I mean, I mentioned an echidna, an armadillo, a flying squirrel, which would actually work a lot better than a hedgehog, since Max is kind of outgoing when hedgehogs are actually quite shy creatures, when squirrels are, always ready for action. But do you know what animal would have worked more than the flying squirrel? A German Shepherd. I mean, when you really think about it, they're pretty brave creatures. I mean, they're not overly powerful, but they're still effective. Dogs trust humans more, and Sega Man the Hedgehog knows a lot about human stuff, even though he's basically been living on an island and the forest, like my forest specifically, for the majority of his life. But being a dog, or a pet of some sort, would give him more knowledge on human culture. In fact, here's an idea for you actually. So, maybe your character starts off as a orphaned pup. It's like maybe both of his parents were lost in a tragedy of some sort. His siblings straight up abandoned him or betrayed him in some way, and he didn't trust anyone's son, so he just left on his own adventure. And then he's adopted by some humans, but that doesn't go so well since he doesn't trust anyone, since he's a bit on the edgy side. But then he comes to the woods and he meets me. But since my character thinks he's a hunting hound, I attack him, he attacks me, but we can't kill each other since we're equally matched. So we shake hands, and a few years pass and we become best friends. And then more of my friends from the forest trust Max the dog, like Alec and Chloe and Zak, with Maddox being the only skeptical one since he knows what hunting hounds can do. So Max the dog challenges Maddox and ends up defeating him. So you see, Max, if you were a dog of some sort, that would explain so much more that you know this much about humans. Heck, that would explain why you have shoes and a t-shirt. And I mean, you have 2 OCs already. Why not give my idea a shot? And keep in mind, Max, the Max the dog idea is only an idea, not a criticism to the Hedgehog character. I still love Sega Man the Hedgehog, but it would make more sense if you were a dog, at least to me. And I mean, there have been way too little dog Sonic OCs, so yeah, it might work. Also, here's an other little nitpick. If you're going to name your character Sega Man, but he's not a human anymore, it don't really make sense. But I actually have an idea. Why don't you name it Sega Quills? I mean, hedgehogs have quills. And if you were to switch it to the German Shepherd idea I gave you, it could be Sega Tooth. I mean, it's epic, and it makes sense since dog teeth are extremely painful when you're bitten by one. But then again, that's just me. Next character. Alright, now let's discuss about Alec's character. Or should I say, Alec's version of my character for him. Personally, I think it was pretty good. I mean, of course, it's lesser in design than mine because I had the better materials, not trying to brag. But, yeah, his character actually ended up pretty good. And in Frank and Alec, during the ending, I actually started wheezing because I actually thought I was going to cry. Good job on that, man. But then again, I wasn't expecting him to die anyway, since he has plot armor. But that can't save Alec's character of my character for him from my gripes. It's just a kingly and high-class Charmeleon, or whatever the salamander-looking Pokemon is called. But for the materials this dude actually had, it's pretty accurate for my version of him. And yes, his plot is kinda cliched since he's down on his luck, but through the encouragement of his friends, he began to become this, great sorcerer and an amazing lord. Cliched, I know, but it's the best I could do on short notice. Speaking of which, let's get to Zak's character. Now, Zak's character design is supposed to be mixed with a pig, a smaller species of Spinosaurid, correct me if you must, Maddox, I can take it, I'm a big boy, and Barney, and a pinch of Pennywise for some reason. But then again, what can I say? It is pretty accurate to his personality. And Zak's plot is just that he just kind of crawled out of a hole, and he joined us in the movie of Road to the Sun, and that's it. The craziest thing is that Zak's character was actually supposed to be the cute one out of the group, at least before Chloe's character came in. But then he became a friggin' psychopath out of nowhere. But for some reason, it actually works, since he's friggin' adorable, but he's so horrifying. Ugh. Alright, let's get to the next character. Now let's talk about Chloe's character, Century 64, the Fox, or correctly, Century 64, the Vixen. Her character doesn't exactly make sense. She's a winged blue fox with a green belly, green ears, a green tuft of hair at the end of her tail, a green muzzle, and she comes from space. And not only that, she can shoot fire out of her paws like Iron Man. So she's kind of the embodiment of Mary Sue's everywhere. And sadly, that's all I really can say about her character. It's not bad, but it's just a Mary Sue. Now let's talk about Maddox's character, Maddox the Volcanic Glider. When you really think about Maddox's character, he doesn't really have a backstory format. Like, he's just there, and that's it. He's just a jackass comedy relief character that got more developed as the movies and skits went on. And even though he doesn't have a specific plot, he does usually make the 4th spot in the casting list. And his design too, even though it's basic, it actually works because it's just supposed to be a stereotype off of all those fairy tale dragons. So now, what would I rate these characters? For Alec's character, it would be an A for effort. For Max, it would be a B+. He just had to get more creative than a shadow recolor. Chloe's character is a C+. Zak's character is a B, and Maddox's character is an A-. And that's all there is. So what would you guys rate these characters? And what would the character owners rate their own characters? Tune in next time for more comedy skits, more stop motion videos, a possible upcoming movie if you're lucky, and a bunch more Goji Rants videos. Until then, my Gojis, this is Goji12 signing out.